If me talking about what I went through in my 20s makes you grateful that you didn't go through any of that, I've done my job. If me talking about what I went through in my 20s resonates with you and you're just like, dang, I'm not alone. Somebody else went through something similar than what I went through, I've done my job. If me talking about my experiences in my 20s makes you go and hug your daughter, your cousin, your auntie, your sister a little bit tighter and letting them know that they're not alone and you're always there if they need them, I've done my job. If me talking about my experiences in my 20s makes you grateful for the positive male role models that you have in your life because they would have never let the things that happened to me happen to you, I've done my job. At the end of the day, you're talking. What I went through, either if you're talking about it in a negative way or a positive way, you're still talking about it in some way. So at the end of the day, I've done my job. Whether you're talking about the things that you wouldn't have done or the things that you would have done differently or the mindset you have compared to the mindset I had in my 20s, I've still done my job because you're talking about it. You're acknowledging it. A lot of you think that maybe I should be embarrassed about sharing what I've shared, what I've shared with you guys. But at the end of the day, I'm not. That's the kicker. I used to be. That in my 20s, if this was still happening in my, like everything that I went through in my 20s, if this was still happening in my 30s, yes, I would be embarrassed. If I still had that same mindset I had in my 20s, now in my 30s, yes, I would be embarrassed about talking about it. But I don't have that same mindset at the end of the day. You guys are talking about it. My experiences is a conversation starter, whether good or bad. So the ones thinking that they're laughing at me, we are really laughing together because as I'm saying these things and putting it out there, I'm just like, dang, Key, why you really took all that? You really did all that? You really stayed that long? It's like, I know. Trust me, I do. But at the end of the day, regardless if you're talking good or bad about me, I still went through it. That was still my experience. And me talking about it is to educate other people. Either if I'm educating them on what not to do or the signs to look for, or I just letting them know that, look, you're not alone. Somebody else went through it too. And there's nothing to be embarrassed about, just because you went through something like that. Because everybody don't think the same. Everybody didn't grow up the same. Like, the environment is always different. So at the end of the day, regardless, I've done my job and started the conversation. Whether the conversation is about domestic violence, whether the conversation is about child abuse, or the conversation about just being delusional. At the end of the day, it's a conversation. And I've done my job. Let's keep the conversation going. All love.